Welcome to a Decor, where everyday spaces become timeless sanctuaries of beauty and calm. Today we step into the heart of a modern Mediterranean kitchen, where warm neutrals meet crisp lines and sun-drenched silence. This is more than a cooking space. It's a curated retreat, a place where every material has been chosen with intention and every corner feels inviting. Imagine a rectangle of light framing the windows, soft above-counter cabinets, and a central island that grounds the room like an anchor. The floors shimmer in pale stone, the walls breathe in muted stucco, and the seamless flow from sink to dining area feels effortlessly choreographed. As you watch, you'll see how layout, color, and detail work together to create a kitchen that looks both luxurious and livable. If you're a homeowner, designer, or simply in love with interiors, this video will equip you with practical yet elegant ideas to transform your own kitchen. Don't forget to subscribe to a Decor, like this video, and tell us in the comments what style inspires your next renovation. Modern Mediterranean is not a pastiche of old villas. It's a refined translation of sun-soaked coastlines into clean, contemporary spaces. It gently pulls from Southern Europe, soft stucco, warm tiles, and timber accents, but edits out the clutter, leaving only what feels essential and beautiful. Picture tall, minimally framed windows that stretch from floor to ceiling, framing views of leafy green or soft blue skies. The cabinetry lines are straight and unadorned, the island is generous but not bulky, and the flow between sink, stove, and dining is as smooth as a well-choreographed dance. As you design your own modern Mediterranean kitchen, keep this essence in mind. It's about edit, not excess. A few carefully chosen colors, a single statement tile wall, and one beautifully proportioned island can do more than a room full of competing details. A modern Mediterranean kitchen begins with a palette that feels like a breath of coastal air. Soft, layered, and never sharp. Think warm whites, gentle beiges, and muted greys that reflect light without shouting for attention. Picture cabinetry in a pale cream or warm white finish, with an island either matching the scheme or quietly contrasting in a light green or soft terracotta. The walls stay soft and neutral, but the backsplash can quietly whisper Mediterranean through a single panel of patterned tiles in olive green, dusty blue, or faded terracotta. As you plan your palette, imagine how each tone will behave at different times of day. Morning light will feel crisp and fresh, while evening light will soften edges and deepen shadows. In a modern Mediterranean kitchen, the floor is the quiet foundation that ties the entire space together. Warm, light-toned flooring, be it pale stone, soft terracotta, or warm beige wood, creates a sense of grounded calm without overwhelming the airy aesthetic. Imagine stepping into a kitchen where the floor glows in soft daylight, with subtle veins of stone or a gentle grain of oak stretching from entrance to island. As you design, picture how the flooring flows beyond the kitchen into the dining or living area, creating a seamless, open-plan experience. A modern Mediterranean kitchen becomes truly luxurious when every inch feels intentional, not accidental. Instead of one crowded triangle, think in clear zones: prep, cooking, storage, and social areas that gently orbit around a central island. Imagine an island that anchors the room, with a sink on one side and a breakfast bar on the other, easing the flow between washing, chopping, and casual dining. The stove and oven sit in a dedicated cooking zone, backed by a simple backsplash, while tall pantry cabinets form a quiet storage zone along one wall. As you design your own layout, picture how people move from the entrance to the refrigerator, from the sink to the dining area, and around the island without crossing paths awkwardly. Smart zoning turns the kitchen into a choreographed space, where every movement feels natural and every surface has a purpose. In a modern Mediterranean kitchen, the island is not just a countertop. It is the heart of the room, a quiet command center for daily life. It should feel generous yet unobtrusive, with a form that balances the length of the space without stealing all the attention. Picture an elongated rectangular island topped in soft white marble or light-toned stone, its edges gently rounded to feel inviting rather than sharp. One side holds a discreet sink with a sleek faucet, the other side forms a breakfast bar with slim bar stools tucked underneath, and the remaining stretch offers open prep space for bowls, cutting boards, and cookbooks. As you design your island, imagine how it will feel to stand at it in the morning with a cup of coffee, or how guests will gather around it during casual dinners. A thoughtfully sized island improves circulation, storage, and social interaction, transforming the kitchen into a space that looks elegant but lives beautifully. In a modern Mediterranean kitchen, the backsplash is where tradition quietly whispers without shouting. Instead of covering every inch, picture a single vertical panel of handmade-looking tiles behind the sink or range, glowing softly in the daylight. The tiles should feel like a mural rather than a screen. Irregular edges, slightly varied glazes, and gentle variation in tone that catch the light in delicate waves. Framed between clean white cabinetry, the backsplash becomes a work of quiet drama, grounding the room's elegance while adding character to an otherwise minimalist layout. As you choose your tile story, imagine how it will interact with the island, flooring, and lighting. A soft hand-painted pattern reflects the sun in a different way to a crisp grid. A well-placed tile wall can visually separate the cooking zone, soften a long wall, and anchor the eye toward the heart of the kitchen. In a modern Mediterranean kitchen, cabinetry should feel calm and crafted, not cold or clinical. Smooth, light-toned wood or high-quality laminates in warm white or soft beige create a serene backdrop that lets the light and textures do the talking. Picture upper cabinets in a pale, lightly textured wood, their doors framed with slim, understated profiles, hovering above lower cabinets wrapped in a matte lacquer that resists glare. The handles are minimal, thin bars or discrete pulls that echo the horizontal lines of the countertop and island, keeping the eye moving smoothly across the room. As you choose materials, imagine how they will age with light and use. A smooth lacquer will stay crisp, while a lightly oiled wood will mellow into a softer patina over time. Both can work beautifully in a modern Mediterranean kitchen, as long as the color palette and layout stay unified. In a modern Mediterranean kitchen, light is the invisible designer that shapes mood, color, and texture. Natural daylight floods in through tall windows or glass doors, washing the pale walls and light flooring in a soft coastal glow. Picture the morning sun sliding across the marble countertop, casting gentle reflections and long shadows that trace the layout of the island and cabinetry. As the day turns toward evening, carefully placed artificial light takes over. Recessed ceiling spots, a slim linear light above the island, and a cluster of pendant fixtures above the breakfast bar that echo the rhythm of the room. As you design your lighting plan, imagine how each source will interact with the materials and layout. Pendants that hang low enough to frame the island without crowding, wall sconces that softly highlight the tile backsplash, and under-cabinet strips that guide the eye across the countertop like a gentle runway. In a modern Mediterranean kitchen, luxury lives in the quiet accumulation of small, thoughtful details rather than in bold statements. A plastered wall, a subtle grain in the cabinetry, the irregular surface of a handmade tile, and the soft patina of a wooden countertop all layer together to create depth without clutter. Picture a range of materials that feel different under the hand. A cool marble countertop, the slightly rough grain of an oak island leg, the smooth curve of a ceramic handle, and the soft weave of a linen towel draped over a cabinet. As you layer in your own textures, keep the palette restrained. Let one or two material stories stand out, such as a textured backsplash wall paired with smooth cabinetry or a wood-accented island against pale stone floors. This balance ensures the kitchen stays airy and contemporary, while still whispering the warmth of the Mediterranean coast. A modern Mediterranean kitchen feels most beautiful when it looks like it's lived in, not staged for a photo. Simple ceramic bowls, a small vase of fresh herbs, a woven bread basket tucked on the counter, and a few neatly stacked cookbooks quietly anchor the space with warmth and personality. Picture a clean countertop with a few intentional items: a copper pot set by the stove, a wooden cutting board resting near the sink, and a low glass carafe filled with olive oil catching the light. Open shelves display a mix of white tableware and muted terracotta pieces, arranged in balanced groups rather than overflowing rows. As you style your own kitchen, imagine how objects will move through the room during a day's routine. How a coffee mug drifts from cabinet to island, how a bowl of fruit migrates from counter to dining table. Styling with everyday beauty means leaving space for life to happen, while still keeping the overall look calm and intentional. A modern Mediterranean kitchen is, at its heart, a timeless vision of calm, light, and quiet luxury. It's a space where clean lines meet soft textures, where a carefully chosen island grounds the room, and where light from tall windows turns ordinary mornings into something almost poetic. Every decision, from color palette and flooring to backsplash and cabinetry, has been shaped to serve both beauty and everyday life, not just aesthetics alone. As you leave this virtual kitchen behind, imagine how these ideas could translate into your own home. A neutral backdrop that lets light travel freely, a central island that becomes a hub for cooking and connection, and a few carefully placed tiles and textures that whisper of the Mediterranean coast. The goal isn't to copy a style exactly, but to borrow its spirit, to create a kitchen that feels spacious, refined, and deeply comfortable. If this journey through a modern Mediterranean kitchen has inspired you to reimagine your own space, subscribe to Decor on YouTube, like this video, and leave a comment sharing your favorite detail or the one change you'd make first. And if you're ready, we'll continue exploring more elegant, timeless interiors together. Thank you for being part of our design community.